Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Ask Amity Show. And today we want to talk about conservatorship. So what is conservatorship and why you would need conservatorship? So an example would be your child is turning 18 and has special needs. Do you then need to petition for conservatorship? So when your child turns 18, he or she will be considered an adult under the law and will be able to have the right to make the decisions about his or her life like any other adult without a disability. These decisions can include decisions regarding medical care, decisions to enter into a contract for the purchase of goods or services, or even the decision to marry and have a family. So the law doesn't treat your disabled child any differently. It doesn't limit his or her rights unless you do something about that.
So the general rule is if you have a serious and longstanding concern about your child's ability to make decisions for himself or herself, there is a legal way to limit that decision making, and it's called a conservatorship. California law recognizes 3 types of conservatorships, but today in this video, we'll only really go through 2 of them because the 3rd type generally applies to people with serious mental illnesses.
So the first type is a general conservatorship, and this can apply to anyone who has a disability that interferes with decision making. With a general conservatorship, the responsible party may be appointed conservator of the person or conservator of the estate, or both. This is generally the highest standard of conservatorships, as it must be demonstrated to the court that the proposed conservatee is unable to properly provide for his or her own needs that are related to food, clothing, shelter, or healthcare. Similarly, to be appointed as the conservator of the estate, a party must demonstrate that the person is unable to manage their finances or would be vulnerable to fraud or undue influence, and that generally can happen with older parents. Those older parents can be subjected to outside influences.
The other type of conservatorship would be a limited conservatorship, and this would apply to adults with developmental disabilities as defined by California law. This type of protection is limited in that the conservator is given certain authority to make decisions only in certain areas that the court believes the disabled person may need help with. Generally, there are 7 powers that may be granted based on the proposed conservatee's conditions. So the 7 are the right to determine where and with whom he or she lives, the right of access to his or her confidential medical records, educational records, the right to marry, the right to enter into a contract, the right to consent to medical treatment, the right to have social or sexual contacts, and the right to make decisions about his or her education. A lot of this is very detailed and very technical. So each situation obviously is very different. Really depends on the medical condition of your adult child or of your parent. Either of those would be something that we would look into to determine whether or not a limited conservatorship is necessary or if we need to get the full authority for a general conservatorship. And as Cindy mentioned, these type of conservatorships can be based on the person. So you have control over his or her decision making or their estate. So if they have certain finances, maybe they received an inheritance or they have income, they have a bank account with certain funds that you want to be able to help manage, then it would be a conservatorship of the estate or both. So it really depends on the situation, but we'd be happy to discuss with you what would be the most suitable for your situation. And we offer a 20-minute free consultation. So feel free to reach out to us and talk to us about what needs you might have, and we can provide you our guidance and see what would be the most suitable type of petition for your situation. And again, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.